Budget 2025 is one of the most important event of the year. On Feb 1st, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the budget in the Parliament. From capex to the education sector, investors are waiting for some kind of good news. Income tax remains a key subject. Hello and welcome. My name is Shruti Sarkar and you're watching Good Returns and Future Focus Budget 2025. के इस एपिसोड में we are going to talk to Kritashna More, head of tax Vedanta Aluminium. Welcome, Kritashna.
Thank you so much, Shruti, for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Same here. So my first question to you is, what are the focus areas which can deliver tax relief to the common man in the budget?
Shruti, if we are talking about a common man here, the major expectations that a common man always has from a budget is, greater financial relief, lesser compliances burden, easier and simplified tax regime, and certainty and faster resolutions from the tax authorities.
Right.
The most plausible way to achieve this objective from the finance minister would be to, I would say, really rationalizing and simplifying the new tax regime. If you see currently under the new tax regime, the tax rates varies from 5% to 30%, right? So this year in the budget 2025, the industry is expecting that the finance minister is going to consolidate these tax rates into broader categories. Having said that, another big relief that a common man expects to increase their disposable income to meet the daily expenses is, tax rate cuts, higher deductions, higher income tax exemptions. If you see under the old tax regime, still the government offers a lot of deductions for investments into, various insurance schemes, various mutual funds under Section 80C, which is currently not available under the new tax regime. It allows deductions for health insurance premium. So in this budget, to make the new tax regime more attractive, we are expecting that the government will, as it has been doing in the past, bring these new deductions in the newer tax regime also. This will go a long way to enhance demand and supply in the economy, which will in turn have a multiplier effect, ensuring higher growth, more employment opportunities for the youth.
Right. Income tax, let's address the elephant in the room. So this is hugely talked about. And some of our sources have said that, people with annual income of less than 15 lakhs may get more income tax relief in the upcoming budget. What is your view on that?
There have been, loud whispers in the corridors around this initiative from the government. If I talk about the current scenario, under the new tax regime, people with falling within the income bracket of 7.5 lakhs do not effectively pay any taxes because of lower income tax rates and the simpler processes. However, people who fall within the income bracket of above 15 lakhs, high net worth individuals, they end up paying at least 33% in direct taxes, and in addition to that, around 20% in indirect taxes, which is significantly high. If we talk from the global scenario, India is amongst the highest taxed countries in the world. Many other countries like Singapore, USA, Canada, Dubai, they have a lot of flexibility in the tax regimes in terms of determining the tax liability on the basis of number of earning members in the family, number of dependents, etc. While in India, the tax rate largely remains the same, and the highest contributor to the government exchequer are people who are falling within the bracket, within the income bracket of above 15 lakh rupees. Therefore, like I said earlier, and we have also seen a trend, of high net worth tax individual moving to more favored tax nations like Singapore and Dubai.
Yes.
So the government has understood this trend, and in this budget, we are expecting the finance minister to introduce a tax rate cut for high net worth tax individuals, or to say for people falling in the income bracket above 15 lakh rupees.
Right. That's going to be the headline, of the show. I think that, expecting some kind of relief, some kind of cut, tax rate cut. Moving forward, this old tax regime, new tax regime. Do you think that, old tax regime will be changed, abolished in the upcoming budget? What are your views?
See, the way the recommendations have moved to the finance ministry during the pre-budget consultations, it seems like for this year at least, the government will continue with the dual tax regime and bring more deductions within the new tax regime to make it more attractive. But the old tax regime for now is not phasing out, at least for this year.
Right. Okay. And before I let you go, Kritashna, one more very important question. We spoke about, how common man could get a little bit more tax relief, but benefits to corporates, how do you think it will trickle down to common man in the upcoming budget if some reliefs are given, some benefits are given to the corporates?
Right. The cost of goods and services in the economy has a direct impact on a common man's pocket. Therefore, the need of the hour from the corporate sector has been, to bring more certainty in the tax regime, to bring more clarifications in the tax provisions in the law, so that the corporate sector expects that, they're not one fine day given a tax notice with huge tax demand, because any uncertainty on the corporate sector will ultimately trickle down to the common man in terms of increase in the cost of goods and services. Therefore, the industry associations, the trade associations have vehemently requested the finance minister this time to ensure that there are no retrospective amendments made in the law which provides uncertainty, creates uncertainties amongst the domestic players in the market and also the international investors. Secondly, what we are expecting for the corporate sector is that there are still huge litigation pendings for the pre-GST regime. Though under the GST regime, the government has tried to bring out amnesty scheme. However, there is still a need for a consolidated amnesty scheme at the central level, which can help corporates to settle their pre-GST disputes, because any kind of tax demand does not reflect well upon the financial statements and upon the markets. Therefore, we are expecting that the government will roll out an amnesty scheme at the central level, which will be later incorporated at each state to give relief from the old tax demands. Another front is, we need to make our domestic industry more competitive in the international market, especially considering the way the political situation is moving in the global economy, right? So, we are expecting that the government will increase the coverage of the production-linked incentive schemes to cover more sunrise sectors in the economy, would provide higher export benefits, etc. And these benefits ultimately will have an impact on, the cost of goods and services, which ultimately are consumed by the common man. Hence, a lot of suggestions have been made. Let's see which all of these suggestions actually, make a way to the finance bill.
Kritashna, this was extremely insightful, and some of your comments, I'm sure, it will make it to the headlines of many stories that probably we are publishing, and viewers will also understand. Thank you so much for joining us, viewers. That was Kritashna More, Head of Tax, Vedanta Aluminium. Thank you, Kritashna, for joining us.
Thank you, Shruti, for having me here.